Hi, in this video we're going to look at the yellow belt gradient syllabus for upper body techniques. We have 5 techniques in total to go through. First one is L stance knife hand guarding block. So we have Nunsogi and in regards to the stance, and we have Sonkal Derby Maki in regards to the technique. Sonkal being knife hand, Derby being guarding, and Maki being block. When we're setting ourselves up for this and put ourselves into the correct position, we need to make sure my front hand, we're looking at the fingertips to be in line with the shoulder, 90 degrees at the elbow joint. There's a 45-degree slant on the hand here. When we're placing our backhand, there is one fist between the arm and the body to keep it away from the body. Our fingertips end as our badge starts here. Delivering it. From our neutral position, we go backwards with our hands in a relaxed but closed position. As we come forwards, they open up into the Sonka. We do not stop the movement from neutral position to the back position to start, to the end of the position. It must go in one continuous move as soon as we start moving, which complies with the laws and rules and regulations around movement within Taekwondo. So let's have a look at this in movement. Sideways. Notice the hand going back to 45 degrees, straight up and straight down. This can actually be done in a circular motion as well. However, this is more in regards to being more of a pushing block than a striking block. This is only done in very few occasions and only when it's actually expressed within the literature or within a pattern that we should be doing that. Generally, it is done as a striking technique, so in a straight motion. So number 2, we go on to walking stance, outer forearm rising block. So Palmok, Chukyo, Maki. So rising is Chukyo, and obviously Palmok is the forearm. We do this for walking stance, Gunnasogi. From this position, it's important to be chambering exactly correctly. So as we come forwards to the midpoint, my hands come on my opposite chest line. They are crossed at solar plexus height. As I then move forward to the next quarter of my stance, this lifts up slightly, up towards the collarbones. At this point on the last quarter of the movement, now the hand starts to slip slightly underneath as we then extend up with the rising block with the forearm. When we get to our position, we need to make sure that we are one fist above the forehead and we are having a 45-degree tilt on the arm, but the Palmok here, the attacking tool or the blocking tool, needs to be in the centre of my forehead. The technique is thrown out at an angle. It is not going straight up into the air, it's going out to actually meet the object that's coming down onto our head. So let's look at it in normal motion. Sideways view. Okay, so let's now go on to our third one, where we go on to a twin forearm block, Sang Palmok Maki. With Sang Palmok Maki, we start to then incorporate 2 blocks within one movement. We have our outer forearm block, back at Palmok Maki, and we have a Chukyo Maki, but they're delivered in an L stance into a Nunsogi. So let's have a look at it in position. So place ourselves into Nunsogi. We have an outer forearm block, we have a rising block. We need to make sure that we stay in half-facing position. Mistake some people make is to bring it more into forward-facing or to bring this hand too far forwards. So looking at it on a sideways view, so we're in this position here. The rising block, the Palmok, the blocking tool, is right into the centre of my forehead, 45 degrees at the forearm, and a 45-degree tilt on the hand and forearm. The front hand, again, this is going to be shoulder height, 90 degrees. My Palmok is going to be in my centre of my shoulder line here. The primary block is the middle block. The secondary block is going to be the rising block. We are defending against a punch coming straight into my middle section, and we're also going to be blocking for a downwards strike to my high section here. But this hand is going to be the primary one. This is secondary with it. So within this, both hands work in conjunction to create the opposite reaction force. So both of them going in their different directions creates the power for each of the other ones. So let's look at it in action. Sideways view. Thing to think about is chambering, both palms facing in, then we're rotating out. Alright, let's go on to our fourth one. And now we come on to L stance, knife hand side strike. So Sonkal, Yok, Bakuro, Torigi. With this, we've already discussed the knife hand, how to form the knife hand. And we've also looked at, with our Sonkal Devi Maki, what we need to be doing when we are chambering. So we put all that into action within this one as well. So as we deliver this, we're looking at being back of the wrist to back of the wrist. My hands, it's slightly closed but relaxed. I'm on my rear chest line. It's above the shoulder as well. As we extend down, we keep the backhand go straight forwards and to the target. At the very last second, we then do the rotation on it. It ends up one fist below the shoulder height in this position. One of the mistakes people make is to rotate it too early. So they get to this position, they rotate and it comes out. But the rules apply with this as it does with a punch. With a punch, we rotate at the very last moment. And again, with our Sonkal, we do exactly the same thing with this. We're going up at 45 degrees again, and we're coming down onto the target. Let's look at it in natural speed. One thing to note is the movement of the body when we're moving forwards and backwards. We do not keep the body and the shoulder straight on down the CD line. The shoulder moves slightly off the CD line. What this enables us to do is the pelvis and the hips will move off, and then we'll get the movement of the hips, the shoulders before the arm comes in. So as we're delivering it here, we're slightly offline, so the shoulder is going in this direction to a 1 o'clock position. Then as we deliver, the hips and the shoulder come onto the CD line and the arm follows. This allows us to get more power into the technique. So on to the last technique now. We now have a low high block in continuous motion. We've gone through these before, but we just need to look at all the idiosyncrasies around delivering this. Because what we know is when we do a low block in a walking stance here, we are going to be in a half facing position. We're going to make sure that the palmok is on my chest line here, and we have a 25 degrees bend within the elbow joint. But when we do a chukyo-maki, we know that we are full facing with the chukyo-maki here. So my shoulders are facing straight onto the target. So we need to be able to enable that when we do each of the techniques. So let's do it in a sort of a half-speed scenario. So as we come forwards and we chamber at solar plexus height and deliver the low block, I am now half facing. What I then do is, as I place my hand off my belt underneath the other hand that's going to be doing the rising block, my pelvis comes forwards, my knee bends, my heel is off the floor. Then, as I lift, my knee starts straightening. Then as I deliver, I drop the heel. We look at it in a sideways position. So again, I block a low block, half facing. I then move my hips forwards to a forward-facing position with my heel up and my knee bent. I then, as I raise my hands, I straighten my rear leg. As I get to the position to let it go, I then drop my heel. So let's look at it in normal motion. Put it on sideways view. Okay, there we have the yellow belt syllabus. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.